Hello, I'm Bettina Cornwell, and this is Sponsorship and Marketing, and we'll be talking about relationships. So we're talking about a relationship between a property rights holder, sports, arts, entertainment, a cause, and a brand or an organization, probably as a communications platform for the brand. I would argue that you need to start with a relationship on recognizing the goals that each party has. And they could be outside this relationship in general and also about the relationship itself. So let's start with the property. So property goals are oftentimes about sales. Ticket sales, merchandise sales, they're very oriented to what the possibilities are there, you can imagine. Also, financial support, definitely through sponsorship, and very strong orientation to community. And as well, media coverage. Media coverage for in and of itself, but also that sponsorship support is oftentimes tied to the amount of media coverage and more sponsorship income related to higher media coverage. Okay, so those are some property goals. We could list many more. And of course we have some sponsor goals. So again, we might have sales, or we might have relationships that lead to sales, particularly if we have a B2B sponsor and they're coming to the event partly to meet individuals for corporate relations or something like that, hospitality, things like that. So also very important, sponsor goals include awareness and image building. We also see community here, and reputation. A little different from image, being sort of oriented to consumers maybe, but this might be to the channel of distribution or something like that, to the community itself indeed. So could be more sponsor goals we could list. But the point being that our sponsor goals and our property goals may overlap, like community, or they could be in conflict. And in here we might have things like price. The property would probably like the price to be higher, and the sponsor might like a more affordable price. Exclusivity, the property might try to divvy up the exclusivity in terms of a product category, having many within a super category. So beverages, having several different sponsors for beverages. And the sponsor, if they're a beverage company, might say, oh, I'd like all of those and I'd like a discount. So the price and exclusivity sort of working together in that sense. And you almost always see the property as wanting a longer term relationship because that adds stability for them, and the sponsor probably more inclined to something more flexible with an opportunity to renew. So those conflicts and the way in which they're managed has a lot to do with how things go. So our success factors. Yeah, what are those? Firstly, and it needn't be in sponsorship, it's absolutely everywhere in relationships, is trust. Probably don't even need to go into that. In sponsorship, commitment comes in a number of different flavors. In research, we've seen quite a bit of discussion about this. So financial support that the sponsor gives in leveraging gives a feeling of commitment. So we can have what we call affective or a emotional commitment, or we can have sort of a outcomes-related commitment, a value-based commitment. And actually, the truth is we need both. Because the emotional commitment, we really believe in this property, we're supporting them in a genuine way, feeds into the value-based commitment that you receive, the outcomes, the financial value, and the success. So as well, we need strategic compatibility. For me, this would be that the relationship is clearly authentic, that these brands have the same voice, and they're working together in a genuine way. It's also, some people talk about this being a strategic commitment in terms of resources as well, that there's a clear understanding in the relationship about the resources that will be forthcoming. People will also put people management relationships, people management skills, and say that this is certainly a success factor if you're able to work together, and that this management relationship, people over time, provides stability. And stability, the strong relationship over time, ends up resulting in some of the things that both of the parties want in the relationship. Thank you. This has been Relationships in Sponsorship and Marketing.